I'm Chris Pegler. I work in the Institute of Educational Technology, and I've been asked to talk about my interest in open educational resources. I'm interested in open educational resources, open content, that is, and very much towards not so much the research content but the sharing of learning content, in part because I see the development potential globally, the chance that your resources can be used somewhere way out of the context from which you originally developed them, I think is very exciting, and it can probably tell you quite a lot about sort of maybe the ruts that you've got into in the practice in your teaching. I think the potential that there is to sort of have some sort of Web 2.0 dialogue ongoing about resources after you've actually sort of posted them and used them with your students is very exciting for educators. And I think we can all learn from each other this way. I'm also very, very pleased with the adoption of Creative Commons and the way that sort of OER has brought that in, because I think that that sort of really does help sort of address the sort of anxiety about IPR that has been sort of hog-tying sharing content so often. So you see that in all sorts of projects. So hopefully that's another thing that's happening, and I also think that there is a sort of goodwill factor around open learning and open educational resources, where people are willing to give their time to it and maybe not charge for their ideas, their experience, their reflections. You know, I think people are very, very interested. It's a very buzzy area that we're all interested in. So, you know, harnessing that while it's new and fresh is, I feel, very important. I feel that open content, and particularly sort of using the sort of social object notion of content, where we're interested as much in what people are doing with the content, where it came from, the sort of interactions around the context, how you can recontextualise it for your students and for your institution, your discipline and your country, is going to be as important. It's possibly the way to get sustainable sharing. Because I think, you know, sharing something that you really don't know very much about is very difficult, sort of sharing in the sense of going to a repository, downloading something cold and finding perhaps that, you know, it's not what you wanted or it's not quite what you expected from the description. I think that if we're looking at sort of things like, you know, the Amazon reviews and the ways in which that informs people's decision making, the sort of helpfulness, and the way that you can ask questions and get answers, I think that's the kind of thing that you want in metadata, as much as the sort of formal description about rights and authorship and the date. I think that's about it.